to Joe Small Talk, my favorite podcast in the world.
Hello and welcome to Joe's Small Talk. It is an exciting special night on Joe's Small Talk because we have our first ever cell phone etiquette expert, Josh.
Hey Joe, how you doing?
Okay, you can call me Shlomo, that's my real name. But
okay, I knew that too. So,
but yes, my name is Joe Small Talk on the show, and unfortunately we are here without my trusty sidekick Michael. You know, really he's not that trusty because I caught him wearing my fleece last week, as I spoke about in the podcast.
Did he ask you first?
He did not ask me. I caught him, and I've been keeping it in my closet now safely, and I'm not wearing it now. But anyways, he's not that trusty, but he's not here tonight.
You should always ask first.
You should have. Etiquette, right?
Yeah, no. If you're borrowing something, you ask first.
Clothing etiquette.
Unless maybe if it's a cold day, I could see, and he had to go outside. Nothing else. Was that the case?
He has other fleeces.
Okay, so never mind.
Believe me, he has plenty of fleeces in his room.
Yeah.
It's funny actually when we talk on the phone, me and Michael, the second-year economics student. It's different than, let's say, the way you and me would talk on the phone, or me and another friend or acquaintance. Because when he calls me, I don't say, "Hey, how's it going?" I say, "Yeah, what do you need?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
brotherly relationship kind of negates a lot of etiquette that certain people will have, right?
No, definitely when you're talking to a friend. But you know what? I like to answer the phone, with "Hey, how you doing?" to everyone.
Everybody.
Yeah. Your family, your friends. Because those are the people you want to be most excited to talk to, right? Your family and friends. Maybe not your acquaintances or the credit cards calling you.
Right, but the way I see it is that the hello, how are you is kind of like a break. Not even a break, but like a waste of time. Like, it's like, just say, speak. I'm ready.
Yeah, manners and etiquette is the way that people relate to each other. So if your brother's fine with that and you're fine with that, then that's fine,
I suppose. I wonder if I get married, I could say it to my wife. Yeah, speak. No? You don't look so happy.
No, yeah, you can. Listen, I don't care what you say to your wife.
Maybe that's why I'm not married.
That could be.
Right?
That could be.
Okay.
But if you want to get the wife, definitely recommend cell phone etiquette.
Cell phone etiquette.
Oh,
okay.
That's a big thing. You know what? If I'm, if I was on a date with a girl and she starts, we're talking, and she starts taking out her cell phone in the middle, picking up calls or checking her email a lot.
So is that a deal breaker for you on a date?
Oh my gosh, that's a deal breaker.
Okay.
It doesn't matter who it is. Yeah, Cindy Crawford, a young Cindy Crawford.
A young religious Cindy Crawford.
Young religious Cindy Crawford could be sitting there. She takes out her cell phone. Maybe once I'll give her a bad look. Twice and it's over.
Well, see, what I would do is
I'll pay my half.
Your half. I would make a comment like, something important, kind of let them know, like, I'm not okay with that.
A lot of times I see friends of mine who are girls, and they're always using their phones. So I say something to them like, if this was a date, it'd be over. And they go, no, I know to use it on a date. Everyone seems to know on a date you don't use your phone, which worries me, because if they know on the date, then that means I could go out with someone. They have great phone etiquette, but then a couple months into the relationship, it becomes 24/7. They're on their phone. I
hear what you're saying. So you're telling every girl out there, it's not polite to use your phone, even with a friend, because it's practice for the date.
I think that's where phone etiquette starts. Cell phone etiquette. When you're with another person, this doesn't matter if it's a date, if it's a colleague, if it's anyone who you spend your time with. That phone should be on silent in your pocket. You want to give them your full attention. And if you are checking the time or checking your text messages or answering, you're sending messages to them that you'd rather be somewhere else or you'd rather be talking to someone else.
Right.
And that's why, phone etiquette is important to give the person the attention that they deserve.
I'll tell you something. I'm so aware of cell phone etiquette on a date that when I feel my phone vibrating and I know not to answer, but I want her to know that I'm not answering the phone. So
yeah.
I'll be like, hold on. You know what? It's okay. I have a call, but what were we talking about? I don't know if I'm going a little bit too far there, but I'm so aware that I want her to know that.
Yeah, but you know what? Even so, I just recommend silent. I recommend silent in your pocket because that's still a distraction,
The vibrating.
The vibrating. It's a distraction for you. You're in the middle of a thought, and then you have a vibrate. Or she's talking, and you kind of, for 1 second, even if it's just for a second, you pay attention to your phone and not to the person.
That's why you let her know. Like, just so you know, I'm a little what's the word? Frazzled. I'm a little frazzled right now because my cell phone's vibrating. But I'm not going to answer.
Maybe, even if this isn't a date, later in the relationships, I think that's a nice compliment that you ought to talk to her instead of the phone buzzing. But still, I recommend, especially on that date, keep that on silent. You're distracted, you know? Who is it? Who's talking to you?
That's true. You know when you're not distracted, actually? When you're in the bathroom.
When you're in the bathroom, that's, I would say, that's an okay time. You're allowed to, in the bathroom, you know, you can check your phone in the bathroom.
Well, here's the thing I want to talk about the bathroom a little more. Because
Sure.
I feel like a lot of people either talk or text in the bathroom. And when I say in the bathroom, I mean sitting on the toilet in the bathroom. Not just, looking in the mirror. Now, there's a few issues with this, depending whether you're at work or you're at home in your own private bathroom. I feel like there are certain types of people who you're allowed to talk to while you're sitting on the toilet.
Well, let's just say, first of all,
Okay.
texting's fine. You can text in it.
Texting's fine, but
Texting's always
still,
fine in the
it's still
bathroom, right?
grimy. It's a grimy kind of thing that everyone probably does, but no one will really admit it.
I'll admit it.
Right, and I'll admit it too.
Okay.
But a girl will never admit it.
The truth is, if I'm at
Right.
work, probably most of my texts are probably in the bathroom.
Right, that's
I'm not
right.
going to do it at my desk. I have to go to the
Right.
bathroom.
I wait to text when I go to
Yeah.
the bathroom. So if you ever get a text from me, you know where it's
Yeah,
coming from.
yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
But a girl will never admit that they text in the bathroom. That's my theory.
I don't ask, but...
I wouldn't ask either. It's an inappropriate question.
Yeah.
And, I just saw the Vagina Monologues last week.
Oh, okay.
It just doesn't relate to that. I just felt like I had to say
I heard a
that.
podcast on it, but...
Oh, yeah?
yeah, that's as far as I got.
So, I feel like in the bathroom, let's say if we're talking.
Okay, so we're not talking.
Everyone texts. Let's say, forget about making a call. Your phone starts vibrating, you're in the bathroom, whatever. So, let's just break it down by relationships. I feel like your immediate family, let's start with that. If your mother is calling you and you're in the bathroom, can you answer the phone?
I think this kind of depends on, if your mother would be okay with it, then it's fine, and you're okay with it. If both people are okay with it, it's fine.
Now, how do you know she's okay with it? Do you say, hey, Mom, I'm taking a crap right now. I hope you don't mind. I think it's a little bit unnerving to say that.
Well, so then it sounds like she wouldn't be okay with it.
So you're saying she
I mean,
wouldn't...
if it's an issue, then,
How do you know if it's an issue, though? When is it ever
I
brought
think
up?
you might know if it's
no
fine
idea.
or not. Okay, so if, some people might answer, oh, it's fine with her,
Yeah, I think for a mother, you probably shouldn't. Maybe you could say, hey, Mom, I'll call you back. You can,
Yeah, people, I feel like a lot of friends of mine feel the way about their mom. Their mom, they always want to tell them they'll call them back.
You want to keep your mom out of the bathroom. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Especially when your pants are down and you...
Okay, so then if that's the case...
Now, in terms of, let's say, fathers and even, especially brothers, I think it's all right. You get a call, hey, Pops, what's going on,
Yeah, my problem is just, if the call goes on too long or...
Right, yeah, then you can't take care of, certain elements
of
play.
Things come up in the bathroom. Also, are we talking about private bathroom or public bathroom? Does it...
Right, so at work, there's a public bathroom, and it's funny because I can hear sometimes a conversation from the next stall over, and I think it's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah? People at your work talk in the bathroom?
Some people do.
Okay, and
it's funny.
Yeah.
Because I want to, knock on the stall, hey, I can hear you, buddy.
Yeah, and this brings up another issue, because what if you also want to have a conversation, but it's difficult for you to concentrate while someone in the stall next to you is on the phone, too.
Well, we can't
You have your own stuff to discuss with your father, not your mom, because you wouldn't.
How about a girlfriend? Girlfriend calls you. See, I don't know because I haven't had a girlfriend in a while.
But she calls you in the bathroom?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering what happens.
If it's new in the relationship, if you're not sure, better stay on the safe side. In any manner situation, any phone situation.
Right.
But if you're not sure if she would like that or not, then just don't do it.
I noticed you said safe side. Now,
the safe side, yeah.
Are you suggesting a surreptitious element of basically not surreptitious?
Well, I don't know. I have no clue what that word means.
I'm not sure if that even makes any sense. Clandestine.
Oh, that too. You're gonna have to
cloak and dagger, under the radar. Like, if you're assuming that there's no way that let's say you're home right now, you're taking a dump. There's no way that she knows you're in the bathroom unless she hears a flush, which you know not to do because you don't.
Well,
flush
there are other
when you're on
noises,
the phone.
I guess. Right.
I suppose, but you can always kind of if you whatever. We don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
But if you're at home, you could essentially hide the fact that you are talking on the phone while taking a dump.
If you're in your own house.
Yeah. So you're saying that's okay because she won't know 99%.
That's not what I said at all.
You said to be on the safe side.
To be on the safe side, meaning...
And it's safe at home.
No. Let me clarify.
How often do you do this?
No. What I mean is the safe side, meaning if she would be okay with it, in the situation where you don't know if she would be okay with it.
See, that's my question, and just like before, how do you know if they're okay with it? That doesn't make any sense to me. You're never going to broach the topic unless you're dating
Well,
for a
first
while.
of all, you could always ask,
I suppose.
Or, something, maybe you thought it's okay, something comes up, the whole, are you in the bathroom? People ask, too, when they hear things.
That's awful.
Or,
Or you could just say, hey, I've got this friend, and he was talking to his girlfriend in the bathroom, and then you kind of look at their face. She doesn't blink?
Yeah,
Mental note.
Yeah.
Mental note, yeah. Okay.
But you know, I think with a lot of these situations, when you have manners in particular, or formalities in any sense, and if it's with someone who you're close with, and you know that both people don't mind, then I think it's fine to circumvent them.
Circumvent, I agree.
Ignore them.
This is a little bit off topic, but in the topic of bathrooms.
Okay.
This is harking back to another podcast or two. I got a lot of flack for saying that I don't use soap when I wash my hands after using the urinal in the bathroom. Not taking a dump. Now, be honest with us.
Well, I mean,
do you use soap when you wash your hands?
First of all, thank you for telling me you got a lot of flack for it, because now I know. It seems there's an easy answer.
There isn't, but I think you're an honest guy. Let's hear it.
Always. Sometimes twice.
You're lying. I hate you. You're leaving me out to dry, just like the other two guys. Look, let me just say something.
No, I do want to, I'll very seriously, I think that often using too much soap can actually be bad for your skin.
It's bad for you.
It can
exactly.
be bad for your skin.
This is what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm suspicious, by the way. I think that you don't use soap every time.
That I don't use soap every time? Honestly, spreading germs is something that I am...
water. God gave us water, and we're using soap. I think it's just disrespectful at that point.
I mean, soap's quite new, isn't it? Right?
In terms of the scope of the world.
100 years ago, I don't think they even washed their hands.
Moses did not use soap.
No, he did not use soap. No, that I know.
Yeah. All right.
Civil War soldiers, no soap.
Right. Maybe even World War II.
I don't know. Did they have soap?
It's a touchy war.
We'll Google it.
Okay. Enough about the bathroom. We spent a lot of time talking about that. Do you need to go to the bathroom, by the way?
No. I'm okay.
You went before.
Oh, I had a lot of water. Yeah.
You did. Okay.
It was a hot day. I was well hydrated.
It was a hot day in Anytown, USA. All right. Now, I noticed you have a few rules. I don't know if you want to bring them up now or throughout the podcast, but we were talking before we hit record. And
I actually have a fun fact.
Let's hear it.
Okay.
Joe Smalltalk loves fun facts.
Okay, and so do I. So this one is my kind of fun fact for the week. Every week I try to have a couple fun facts to tell my friends, and this one. It has to do with phone use.
All right.
And when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone, he had a suggested greeting for people to answer the phone.
Really?
Yeah, and that greeting was ahoy.
Ahoy.
Yeah, and a couple things interesting about this. First of all, it was such a foreign concept that people didn't even understand, how do you even answer the phone?
Right.
And he wanted to standardize the etiquette of the phone by coming up with a greeting that everyone would use. It rings, and then and now we know it rings. You answer, you say hello. But he wanted to just he had a greeting, and his was ahoy. And have you ever seen the show Simpsons, which I'm sure you have?
Of course.
Do you remember how Mr. Burns answers the phone? He answers it ahoy hoy,
yes,
which is kind of a throwback to Thomas Edison. Okay. Although, I'm sorry, Alexander Graham Bell. Now, this is what I heard. Thomas Edison. I don't know if I just said that wrong, but Alexander Graham Bell invented the phone. Thomas Edison later suggested the greeting hello after, and that's what stuck.
Interesting.
However, and I heard this somewhere else, and I can't verify the next part, but what I heard is that the word ahoy somehow got mangled in different languages and later became the word hi. So when we say the word hi...
Hi is not a real word.
Hi comes from the word ahoy, which was Alexander Graham Bell's suggested greeting when people answer the phone.
Who would have thought Alexander Graham Bell coming up with the sayings?
But imagine, you have the phone ring and people don't know what to do. How do you even have a conversation with a person?
Well, what would you do if you were in 17? What was invented?
The first thing is that, the first phone, obviously you couldn't call anyone because you had the only one.
Yeah. And
then they made, I guess, the other one.
Let's say there's a couple thousand phones in circulation. What is it, like 18-something? 18?
Yeah, late 1800s, yeah.
Your phone starts ringing. What do you say?
What would you normally... I don't
call in your entire life. What do you say?
I guess I'd say ahoy. I'd go with the inventor. He made it. We don't know how to talk. I'll go with...
I don't know. I would say, who is this? Who's calling?
Or what about introducing yourself? You're speaking to Joe Smalltalk?
Well,
how can I help you?
Let's say you're live on Joe Smalltalk.
Yeah, those are your different options.
I suppose, yeah.
But isn't that interesting? And that's I've seen so many episodes of Simpsons and I just found this out.
That's not bad.
So there's and I think it ties into cell phone etiquette.
Do you think Alexander Graham Bell Do you think he waited a few rings to kind of make the other party nervous when they would call him?
Well,
People do that nowadays.
People do that now, and
I call a girl, they'll wait 5.5 rings, make me sweat, and then they'll answer the last second.
So I was reading about cell phone etiquette. Now, you know.
You were.
Oh yeah.
You are a cell phone etiquette expert.
Oh yeah. No. But I was. I wanted to see what my cell phone etiquette colleagues had to say on the subject. And one thing that I read is someone said it's polite to answer the phone on the second ring. You don't want to make them wait too long by going more, and you don't want to catch them off guard by answering too soon. Now that's just so silly to me. I mean, you know, I answer the phone. You answer the phone. I don't think you know people need to go that deep into making sure. Plus, you can't even. It's not really an option. I think people answer the phone when they can. No one's going to sit with the phone and wait, right?
You know, I don't wait on purpose, but I will kind of stare at my phone when it's like blinking or ringing, and I'll kind of contemplate. Not do I want to answer, but like, what does this person want?
Yeah, I think that's polite. I think that's good.
That might take 2 or 3 rings for me to kind of gather my thoughts. Because
if you ask me, there's no wrong number of rings.
Well, you're assuming that it's all natural, that the person isn't sick and making the person wait on purpose.
You can make the person wait. I don't think that's a make or break, right?
Right. Well, I mean, have you had it with girls? Well, I don't know if it happens to you, but you call a girl and it'll just ring and ring.
They never pick up. It doesn't.
They don't pick up.
I've never had them pick up at all, so I don't even know what that.
Well, so that leads to my other topic. Do you leave a voicemail nowadays? I feel like, because I don't listen to voicemails really. I don't think you listen to voicemails.
I never listen to voicemails. So never.
So, do you ever leave a voicemail? When's the last time you left a voicemail?
No, it's been so long. My mom leaves voicemails,
right.
and I tell her.
My parents too.
Yeah, I tell her every time. I go. I don't. You know what? I've had my phone a year. I've not yet set up my voicemail.
You didn't have the voicemail.
There are hundreds of calls from my mom on there, and that's the only thing.
Okay. Well, if you ever do listen to your voicemail, the password is 1234.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was
figured that out.
I was wondering how I would even get them. I don't even know which button to press to get to the voicemail. It says voicemail.
I think if you hold down the 1 button, you get to it automatically.
Okay. It says on my phone, I get a text message when there's a new voicemail, which is funny. Like I get a text message right to find out. No, I recommend don't leave a voicemail.
Okay. Now,
unless it's to your mom.
Right.
If she leaves you a voicemail, I think she may expect to.
You leave a voicemail for a parent.
I don't, but I think that if someone's leaving you a voicemail, they know they may be expecting a voicemail in return.
All right.
I mean, what I don't like a voicemail is if they have something to say, we'll call and talk about it.
Right.
Or text me. Texts are the best. I'm a big fan of text messages.
Well, that's what I was going to wait for later. But
okay.
No, you brought
it up. We can wait for later.
No, you brought it
okay.
up. Text messaging. We all know how to text message.
Yeah.
A lot of us send text messages to other people.
Yeah.
We receive them.
Yeah.
Through various means. There's the texting through the cell phone provider, and then there's third-party services such as WhatsApp.
There's
and
WhatsApp.
Viber.
We have quasi, messages like Facebook message is really just a text message to me. It comes.
Yes and no. If you get an alert, a lot of people don't get alerts.
If you don't get an alert, yeah.
But let's say WhatsApp is a well-known.
That's a text message. Yeah.
It's a full-on text.
That's
message.
That's a text message.
Now that's where I want to actually begin with that.
Okay.
A false statement you just made because.
Okay.
There are people who don't have internet on their phone, but they have Wi-Fi. So the WhatsApp will work when they have Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But not when you send them a text.
Uh-huh.
So I can send you a text, and if you don't have internet...
Yeah, I have friends like that.
Right, exactly. So WhatsApp is kind of a 90% efficiency version of real texting.
Yeah.
And the reason I don't like WhatsApp is because it tells the other people when I was last seen online. So they know that when you've seen a text message. Now, when you get a text message, it's not like a phone call where... you kind of have some time to call them back. A text is sent to you, and for whatever reason, you haven't responded to them, right?
Well, no, that's all correct. But doesn't my text message also say if it's been delivered? It says something.
Delivered is fine. You can deliver it, but I haven't seen it yet necessarily.
Okay.
Which is, it's on my phone blinking, but I haven't seen it. WhatsApp will tell the person that I read your text message. You're not that important to me because I haven't responded, and I'll respond when I feel like responding.
Yeah.
That's the issue with the WhatsApp in the last scene.
But do you know for sure? You don't know for sure that the person read it.
95%, because it means that let's say right now is 4 p.m. Okay, and I send you a text message. It says online, right? If I see that you're online, that means you received it and you're aware. Now you might not actually click on my text, but you know that I sent you something. Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
And the issue for me is that you're losing that break, that kind of window of time where it's like a waiting period. Like, I don't need to respond right away, but this person knows that I got it. With a regular text, you can kind of pretend, I haven't gotten your text message yet. I was in the shower, I'm not running. With WhatsApp, we know exactly where you are. Not where you are, but... But you seem to not mind texting.
Oh, no. I don't mind texting, and I'm going to be honest. I never check to know if the person got mine or not. I want to give them the benefit of the doubt. Respond when you can. I'm going to respond when I can, and hopefully no one has a problem. But I can see that.
Right. No, but there's a lot of times where I'll get a text and I'll be at work or in the middle of something and I can't respond, and then somebody will write back ? And that really bugs me. ?
The question mark.
Because WhatsApp is more of a chat.
Well,
service.
I'm going to tell you though, I have to disagree. I don't mind that because every once in a while, I get I may turn on my phone. If I'm at work, I'm going to try not to even look at my phone. Or other situations. Maybe I'm with, because again, if I'm having coffee with you, as a friend, date, anything, the phone is on silent in my pocket. So then when I do pick it up, I may have several messages.
Yeah.
Right? And if I don't respond to all, maybe I'll look at them and I may not respond right away. Right?
Sure.
And maybe I got a text from a while ago and I forgot about it. If someone sends me a question mark, I'm fine with it because it may mean, wait a second, action needed.
Okay.
I'm okay with that. If I forgot to respond for a while and you need the answer, it may not make me respond to any answer, but there's a possibility I forgot about it or I didn't get it. Sometimes, if you get 5 of them, you respond to 1, you respond to 2, you forget about the rest.
Do you, random question, do you think the Pope has a cell phone or a smartphone even?
We have a new Pope. The new one?
Right, he's from South America. There's a lot of cell phones in South America.
The old one I don't think did.
Right.
Did he?
The
I
new one.
don't know.
He's, the new one might.
I heard about this new Pope. He had an option of like a big mansion.
Okay.
And he chose a small little apartment so he could be closer to the.
To where?
I don't know. The church.
Does he live in the Vatican?
Well, he just became the Pope today or something.
Right.
So this was in Argentina.
Oh, in Argentina.
Yeah.
See, that's smart because he increased his candidacy for the Pope by living in this small apartment.
Oh, yeah. I think that was it.
Why live in a mansion and kill your chance of becoming Pope?
I've heard a lot about how the Catholic religion's having a bit of money issues.
Yeah,
better choose the guy who's not going to rack up those housing bills, right?
Wouldn't it be great if the Pope was giving a speech and then he's like, "Hold on 1 second," and he pulls out his cell phone and he's like, he taps a few keys and puts.
Well, they do have Twitter, don't they? I think there's lots of.
There's no way that the Pope.
I agree. I don't think he does the Twitter.
But
someone's doing the Twitter. Someone's doing it.
Let's say I was about to say his wife, but he's obviously not married.
No, he's not married.
Let's say
he doesn't have these issues with texting girls.
It's true. He has no girl element in his life.
Yeah.
Right. The element of girls really is, I feel like, 60 to 70%.
You know what else I heard about him? The same thing. I heard that he, when he became
Pope.
Before his last. I'm sorry, my definitions aren't perfect, but he became cardinal. So his friend, it wasn't his wife. His friends came and they raised a lot of money for a big party for him, and he said, "Thank you very much, but please give the money to charity instead."
Wow.
And he celebrated. I think just by himself, maybe.
This guy was running for Pope 15 years
ago.
Yeah,
I know. It's a happier story if he just, if it was just maybe a romantic dinner with him and his wife, but he's
again not married.
Again not married. So he must have a cell phone, right?
I don't know. I have no idea. I just think it'd be great if he pulled out a cell
phone.
No
reason he can't have a cell phone.
But who is he calling? Because he has an assistant who makes the calls for him.
Who makes the calls for him?
The assistant.
I don't know. Yeah,
right.
But congratulations to Pope. Do we know his
Francis?
Pope Francis. That's the name.
Do you mind if I point out to our podcast listeners what you just did?
I'd rather not.
Oh.
No, please.
No,
I'm joking.
Josh, the cell phone etiquette expert, just got a phone call, and he clicked decline.
Decline.
I appreciate that. If you would have answered the phone in the middle of the podcast, it would be a little bit...
That is not even a question. I would have never...
but it would have been funny if you put that person on speaker.
Well, I actually do want to... They're calling it. I do want to be very clear.
You just clicked decline 2 times.
Yeah, I want to be very.
When it gets dicey.
But what I have to tell the listeners is that the only reason I have a phone in front of me, because I would never do that except I wrote some notes down.
Of course, yeah.
On my phone notebook. That's the only reason there is a phone out right here.
I think that person calls the 3rd time, you should answer on speaker and say you were live on Joe Small Talk. They know who Joe Small Talk is.
They know who Joe Small Talk is. We'll see.
We'll see. All right.
But I think one important thing is that if someone is calling me, I'm gonna wait till I'm ready to talk to them. And I think that's a favor for them too. If they want to talk to me about something, I'm going to give them my full attention. So if you're talking to me on the phone, you have my full attention wherever it is. And I think that's important for people. So I'm not going to pick up while I'm in a conversation with someone else, or while I'm on a noisy bus, for example.
Absolutely, the noisy bus phone calls are tricky. Noisy car outside.
Yeah, that's why text is great. It's noisy here. I can't hear you. Well, just send me a text. Meet me here, or forgot to do this.
Right. The issue with texting for me is it says you spend so much time saying so little. You know, like with a phone call, you could clear up 5 text messages in 10 seconds.
See, I don't have such in-depth conversations. I think I can just anything I ever talk about the phone.
I'm not talking philosophy in these phone calls, but like in terms of meeting up and here and there, what time and who and what. A 30-second phone call clears up a back and forth of 5
sometimes
text messages.
Yeah.
You know,
so then you need the phone call. Yeah.
So the person who just called you, maybe you could just text them and say, "Hey, I'm in the middle of
I'm in the middle of a
podcast. Small talk."
Yeah. They know though. I told them before, so they know exactly where I am.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Now, do you remember back in the day? Let's say 5 years ago at least. Cell phone plans were you would buy minutes. You would have, let's say, 300 minutes per month, etc.
Yeah.
Nowadays we're a little spoiled. We can talk and text as much as we want.
Yeah.
So for me, it used to be this thing of every minute counted, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm a little bit of a neurotic person, so I could kind of, when I would talk to somebody, when you call, when they answer the phone, the seconds start ticking, right? 1, 2, 3, and these minutes can really rack up quickly.
Yeah.
And for me, I would kind of hear the clock ticking in the background of each phone call. And I would try to. I actually wrote an article once called "The Art of the 58-Second Phone Call," because if you talk, as you know, 1 minute and 1 second, that's a 2-minute phone call.
That's a 2-minute phone call. Yeah.
So I wrote this whole article about how you break down the 1-minute phone call, or when I say 58 seconds, it could be 3 minutes, 58 seconds. But basically,
ending on the 58.
Basically, when you hit the 30-second mark, you need to kind of make your closing remark, and they need to respond, and you need to give them a couple seconds to add one little fact in, etc. And then when you get to 45, 50 seconds, you really need to wrap the phone call. And then by the time you get to 56, 57, you just say goodbye. I'm hanging up. And it's really like confounding when, I remember this, when the person would kind of stretch the goodbye out and it would reach 101, 102. At that point, I would kind of just say, okay, I would throw my hands up and I might as well just talk another 40 seconds. Yeah. By the way, blah, blah. But nowadays, that art is lost on us. Now people just yap and yap. And I feel like people talk more because there's no limit. And it's hard to get people.
I wonder. Do you think people talk more without the limit? Yeah.
I talk more.
Okay, because there's no limit.
Yeah.
Well, I know, and you don't know. The other thing is that when you used to be billed only when you receive the calls, the quick call and hang up, right? Did you?
Well,
did you ever do that?
I know 1-800-COLLECT. You can call up and say your.
And the 1-800-COLLECT.
You have 3 seconds to say your name, and you could say, "Hey, I'm ready to be picked up by."
Yeah.
And that works.
That's how I got home every day in high school, right?
So you robbed AT&T of thousands of dollars.
Well,
are you going on record?
Yeah. No.
No. Okay. No, but I think people talk a lot more nowadays because there's no worries about going over the minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think actually they may talk less because of things like WhatsApp and texting.
Right. Could be.
That, I think that takes away some of the time. For a good reason, too,
I'm going to have a rum ball. Can I offer you a rum ball?
No, thanks.
You sure?
Yeah.
They're delicious.
They do. They look good, yeah.
The great thing about the rum balls, you put it in your mouth and you now have rum in your mouth. However, you choose when you want to drink the rum because it's in this chocolate ball. It's whoever invented rum balls is a genius. And I don't know why they don't put
I mean, if I have how many? If I have the whole pack,
I don't think I get rum this one. I just got screwed over. But
what are you eating then?
It was a rum ball, but I think every once in a while there's a rum ball without rum in it.
And I go to the store and you see they all look the same, right? You have the rum balls, the chocolate covered peanuts, the malt balls.
Yes.
You can't tell.
Well, you have to ask the guy, where are the rum balls?
They don't even have labels or anything.
They don't have labels.
You have to ask them.
Yeah, okay. You sure you don't want one?
Yeah, no, thank you.
All right, Josh. So as a cell phone etiquette expert, you have some rules of etiquette. You've noticed a lot of things that people do and that people shouldn't do.
Yeah, I made my own list of rules.
Let's hear a breakdown.
Okay, so again, I mean, I just think the number one thing that I see is just keep the phone on silent in your pocket when you're talking to people, when you're in any sense.
Absolutely.
This is
especially
dinner.
an interview.
Oh, you don't even need to say that. I mean, and if your phone's going off in an interview, you're not getting the job. But I'm just talking about just meeting a friend. I think that when people meet friends and for coffee, that's when maybe they don't think so much about etiquette. But you know what? It's rude if you're just talking and walking with a friend. It's important. It's important not to be checking your phone all the time. Listen, if someone's walking with me, we're just having a conversation. They're checking their phone all the time. That's fine. But I'm just going to remember that they're not so interested in having a conversation.
What about the second phone call? Like you ignore the first phone call, you hear it kind of vibrating, you ignore it. The second one, that's another issue.
So this is very important. What I like to say is this. First of all, when the phone's on silent in your pocket, you don't know who's calling. You could get 100 phone calls from a person. You get 100 calls from your pregnant wife, but maybe that's kind of the one example.
Nobody does it though. I don't think anyone has their phone on silent.
My phone's always on silent in my pocket.
So you missed a lot of calls.
I miss a lot of calls, and then I call them back. I call them back when I'm ready to talk to them.
See, I hear a vibrating sound right now.
That's not mine. That's yours.
That's my phone.
That's your phone. That's your phone.
Now I'm not going to even look at it, but I'm tempted to.
But again, now we're in the middle of something. Now we have to start talking about your vibrating phone. No, that's what I think. Now the one exception to that I feel strongly about this is that if you know you're going to get an important phone call,
right?
Then you say to the person beforehand, you say, hi, how you doing? I just want to warn you beforehand that this person may call me talking about this subject, and this is why it's important to me, and I may pick it up. And unless that person is calling, you just can't.
I hear that. Do you think, going back to the interview thing, do you think that could ever work? Let's say you accidentally left your phone on in the interview, and it rings, right? Now, you would think that's it. You just lost the job. Yeah. Is there anything you could say to extricate yourself from that situation? You could say, oh, my wife is in labor.
No, just say, say you're sorry.
Sorry.
Say, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. Yeah.
No, I feel like there's something you could probably say to get
I mean, if your wife's in labor and you're going to an interview, I think you have bigger problems, right?
Yes.
So
you have to earn money to support the baby.
I just think, just apologize about that. Again, you know what? I mean, I think emergencies are really a new thing. When you think about it, when people used to write letters, it took a week to get there, so you got your letter and found out something happened.
It's true, but the idea of going to sleep, because now there's no landlines. There are a lot less landlines now, right?
There are a lot less landlines, yeah.
So the thing that you used to say, 1995, when most people didn't have cell phones, you could always, an emergency phone call at 11:30 at night, that's an emergency phone call.
Well, go back a little further. Go back,
1990, right.
50 years before then.
So you're saying in 1940, well, they had phones in 1940. What are you saying?
Well, before then.
You're talking about the 1500s?
Well, it wasn't that long. You don't have to go that long.
1820, let's say. There's something happened. Well, I'm talking about 1995, okay?
Talk about 1995.
You go to sleep at night. You don't have a cell phone, but the phone rings at 12 o'clock. You're going to answer because
we get better sleeps now. You get a better night's sleep now.
Right. So now you could turn off your phone, but if there's an emergency, you cannot be contacted. So it's kind of a catch-22. Do you turn your phone on silent when you go to sleep because you want to get some sleep? Let's say you're going to sleep early at 10 o'clock, whatever. But then, if there's an emergency, you're going to miss the emergency.
Yeah, you know what I can tell you? My phone is off from the time I go to bed till I wake up. So
off, completely off.
Well, it's on silent.
Do you have an alarm
in the morning to wake up? Yeah.
A clock or a phone
clock?
Alarm? Oh, you're a clock guy.
No, phone alarm.
On your phone?
Yeah. My phone's on silent. It's always on silent.
The same phone that you silence from ringing can make the alarm sound.
Yes.
I have that too. I like it. Yeah.
No, that's important. Yeah. If not, I'd have a clock. So.
Right. I think more people should get clocks.
Yeah. If you want to talk to me during the night, you can try. But I'm not going to, and I think people are okay with that. I think my friends know that they can't, 3 a.m., they wake up.
Yeah. So there's no way to reach you if there's an emergency at 3 a.m. No way at all.
No. And you know what? I don't think, up to this point in my life, I've never had a problem. And I think I have less emergencies, because I'm not available through the phone.
That's true. The emergency falls on the person who's waiting for the emergency.
Yeah.
Interesting point.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
No, I think it's one way to really eliminate problems is keeping your phone off. You're not going to hear about any.
Do you shower at night or in the morning?
At night.
Right. So, like me, you shower at night because you want to have clean sheets, and go to sleep clean. But that means
just in the morning. You know what it is? It's turning on the dude in the morning.
Turning on the heater in the morning.
Yeah, I'm not going to turn on and wait a half hour.
Right. But I feel like when you shower at night, it relaxes you and puts you in a deeper sleep, and you're less likely to hear the vibrating, let's say, of the phone, because I leave mine on vibrate.
You leave yours on vibrate?
I have probably about a 4% chance of hearing it when I'm sleeping.
The other thing is that, you have friends from other countries who may, there are so many...
So I wake up to a few text messages, international texts, but those don't wake me because
it's
just text.
Oh, yeah.
But I like getting the morning text message from my friends across the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
They can send me anything you want. Call me at any time. It's rare that I would be answering it.
But I think people who shower at night are less likely to wake up from...
Some people say that, that I can see that.
I've been using cocoa soap lately.
Cocoa soap?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I don't know why. It was on sale, and I bought it. Cocoa.
What's like cocoa, like chocolate cocoa?
I think so. I mean, there's no other cocoa, right? Cocoa bean.
Yeah. And it's good? A bar? Is this a bar?
I'm wearing it right now. I showered actually before the podcast.
Okay. To relax. You seem relaxed. You want to be relaxed for the podcast?
Well, I'm going to be heading out in a bit, so I figured time-wise it made sense to shower before the podcast.
Yeah.
But
I appreciate it.
Cocoa soap, yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because in the supermarket...
Do you know
yeah.
I have to tell you, for about over a year now, probably 2 years, I only use shampoo.
I was about to ask, do you use soap?
I don't use soap. I only use shampoo on my hair and body.
Okay.
It makes things simpler. I'm into, simplifying everything. I buy one bottle of shampoo, that's what I use.
My brother does that too.
Yeah?
But I counter that you don't clean the skin as well as the soap. I don't know why, but
I think it does fine.
Really?
Oh, I think so.
You know, I read a blog about a guy who, for a month, he didn't use any soap or shampoo because he said, in the 1500s, they used water.
Yeah.
And he said, other than his armpits, he was very clean.
Oh, really?
But I don't know if he wore deodorant. That might have changed things a bit.
Yeah, that would. Yeah.
He might not have worn deodorant. I think he wanted to go completely...
Oh, people, go back 1,000 years, people went their whole life without showering.
But they wore robes. That's the thing. So with the robe, it's more airy. And, nowadays we wear fleeces.
Depends on where they were, though. If you're an Eskimo, what did the Eskimos wear?
If you're an Eskimo, you don't have to shower that often because you're not sweating.
That's true.
Right? Unless they wore those big coats. And
they did all the
time.
time.
Go on the dog sled.
That was animal skin that they must have worn.
So they're probably sweating a bit.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
Okay, I have a couple more. Ready?
Okay, let's finish up here.
Okay, lower your voice in public. People do not want to hear.
Have you ever called out somebody for speaking loudly in public? Because I wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, well, yeah. Sometimes, here's my big thing also, more importantly than that. And there are places in public where it's okay to talk a little more loud, right? If you're in a park, right, it's okay. The one place I think really you should not be talking on your phone is a intercity bus from one city to another. If you have an hour bus ride, especially in the morning, I take an hour-long bus in the morning, going from one city to another. I get on at 7:40.
Yeah.
People want to sleep in the morning.
Agreed.
And the bus isn't too crowded, and every once in a while there's someone who gets on who just thinks it's his office.
And do you say something to them?
I will.
Or you give them a look?
I'll if I can get up and move, I'll get up and move. But I'll try to make it known.
Will you make it obvious when
I'll
you
try
get
to
up
make it known.
kind of...
I'll tell you what I did once.
Hey, look, I'm moving because you were talking.
And here's my next thing. I'll tell you what is never. This is a never, ever, ever. I can think of no situation where you should be using your phone as a boombox.
Okay.
Playing out. Don't play songs from no one. There's not one other person in the world who wants to hear what you have to play on your phone.
I did it once. I was walking the street by myself. Nobody around.
Well, never. Still no.
Okay.
Still no.
Still no?
Yeah.
Joe Small Talk will disagree.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. But I got into carry headphones. People should have headphones. If that situation might come up, that you want to listen to your phone.
Here's my counter argument to that.
Yeah.
I like to be aware of what's going on around me, so I don't always wear headphones. If I'm walking at 2 in the morning, I want to be ready if somebody's about to jump on me and attack me, or if there's a car coming.
Well, if you're playing your phone as a boombox, someone's gonna be jumping on you, attacking you. I think I'm more likely to jump on that guy with a boombox.
Not a boombox, but audible music. I like to be aware.
At nighttime, people are sleeping. People, they don't want you walking down the street.
You can't hear every little
playing that.
cell phone.
If the question's how can you stay aware, maybe put one earphone in.
I think it's unhealthy to walk around with headphones all day. Because lately.
Well, some people say that, yeah.
I feel like,
but definitely not too loud. I think that's what they say is that.
Yeah, I've been listening to headphones at work, and I feel what's it called when you get off the plane?
Yeah, your ears.
I feel that.
So I want to bring up with this is that my mom says something.
All right.
She always says if you want to know if something's rude or not, or polite, or if you can do it or can't, just think about what if everyone's doing it, And I think this is just such a great lesson. You don't need to be a manners expert, an etiquette expert, but if you just think to yourself with every situation, is it okay? What if everyone was doing this, right? So what if everyone on that bus was talking on their phone? Well, then no one would be able to because it would just be too noisy for anyone to hear anything.
That's a very motherly thing to say.
She's wonderful, yeah. Hi, Mom. So I get on a small, Cheroot, a small van, and there's a guy playing his phone out loud. There's 10 of us on the bus. It's a van, 10 of us, and he's there playing, and that was I wanted to sleep. It was the last thing I wanted to listen to, so I started playing mine.
Interesting. Wow.
So I'm a huge, I'm a big country music fan. This guy was listening to kind of the Arabic style,
Middle Eastern music.
Yeah, Middle Eastern music. So I'm standing right next to him. So I turn on my phone and I play it as loud as I could. And now we have 2 people. Now no one like that.
Did he look at you?
I think he got the point because
a lot of looks were exchanged.
Oh yeah. It was clear. It was clear. So he turned his off.
Oh.
Yeah. And I turned mine off, and then we had it was a good ride home. That's my mom. And I'll give you a couple other rules that I
sure.
Again, your ringer and your text message ring. Those don't need to be allowed. You do not need to leave your text bing bing all the time. That doesn't need to be allowed.
Hold on, can you clarify that? A text message ring?
Yeah.
Oh,
like the WhatsApp ring. You'll get, when you get ding or
Oh,
whatever.
the ding, okay.
The ding. But,
you don't like the ding?
Yeah. Listen, if you're at home in your room, that's fine. You want to know as soon as you have to run to it every time you hear a ding. But if you're in an office setting, we didn't even talk about that, but if you're in an office or you're on a bus, people don't want to hear a ding every couple minutes.
Sure.
The next is the call waiting. If you're talking to someone.
Oh, yeah, I meant to talk about this.
Yeah, this is a big one. I think that people, there's lots of, now you have so many features on your phone.
Well, give an example of what you mean with the call waiting.
Sorry.
Let's say you call somebody up, right?
I'm talking to you.
Okay, we're talking on the phone.
And you get a call waiting from Yoni.
So
Yo,
somebody is calling me.
someone's calling you.
Yoni the coffee guy.
Yoni the coffee
podcast.
guy. Yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Yoni the coffee guy.
Yoni
calls
the
me
coffee
up,
guy.
And so I
Found a new coffee.
I say to you,
He
hold on
just
one
tried
second.
hazelnut. Wants to tell you about it.
Hazelnut. Nobody
Yeah.
drinks hazelnut
No,
anymore.
no.
So I see
It's a scenario.
I take my phone out. I say, Josh, hold on. I'm getting another call, and I look at it, and his name is blinking.
Yeah. You do not answer that.
Okay.
You do not.
So I hit decline.
You hit decline. Yeah.
What's the issue?
We're in the middle of a conversation.
Right.
Just because someone else went. Well, I'm sorry. We were talking first.
But if I'm expecting this call, I could say to you, Josh, hold on just 15 seconds.
If there was something important, if he had to tell you something
I
important.
could always lie to you, and you'll never know.
No. And you told me beforehand. I would say that would maybe be the.
Beforehand, before we started talking?
At the beginning. Oh yeah, I do that all the time.
Like, hey, I might need to end this phone call.
Yeah, I say, I just want to warn you, my mom's going to call me back in 10 minutes to tell me, the address for the party.
Let's say it's a random surprise call.
No, you don't know what they're calling about.
Let's say it's someone who hasn't spoken to you in 5 years and is calling you right
I
now.
think- I
And
think
you might
you-
miss it.
I think you
Let's
can
say it's a
assume-
girl who you wanted to ask out for years and she's calling you. You think I'm going to stay on the phone with you? No offense, but I'm going to answer that call. I would say, Josh, is it that is an emergency.
Listen.
It's a surprise emergency.
If it's an emergency in general, if you know
surprise.
something's an emergency.
Surprise emergency.
Yeah, if it's a surprise, if you know something's an emergency,
Let's say the
you
doctor's
would
calling
take
you.
the call, but you almost never know it's an emergency.
Let's say your doctor's calling you.
Yeah, if it's your doctor, you can,
What about mother?
but again, we're talking really, we're stretching it here because most of the time I think that call waiting is something, and again, just because these features are on your phone, now your phone can do anything.
Yeah.
There are so many options you have.
It's true.
In the middle of a call, I can surf the web and talk to you at the same time on my phone. That doesn't mean it's okay. You can get to call waiting. That doesn't mean just because there are rings and messages and every possible thing you can think of now you can do, but that doesn't mean that it's polite to the person. What is polite is to give them your full attention, and I think that's how you're supposed to have a conversation with.
Fair enough.
Something I was reading the other day is if you're in a wedding, synagogue, church, funeral, religious
Mosque.
ceremony, I would say your son or daughter's play, anything related to school, a mosque. Leave the phone in your car. Don't even tempt
In the
yourself.
car?
In the car. Leave it in the car.
You're a little bit of a phone Nazi. You're
Yeah,
making me swim.
possibly. But you know what? Again, some people I know.
Emergency. There's always an emergency. It hasn't
To
happened.
me, there's never an emergency. I can't think. The amount of times somebody actually has an emergency, which needs to be done right then.
Well, because you got your phone in the car, so you can't help anybody. That's the issue.
Maybe that's why I don't have any emergency. Yeah.
Let's say you want to mingle after synagogue with the local constituency, and your phone's in the car. You can't take a phone number.
You get
How about that?
Yeah, pen and paper. Remember
So,
it.
are you carrying around a pen and paper?
Listen, Shulman, invite him to your car. Say, my phone's in the car. You want to come? Go for
That
a little
doesn't sound
ride.
good.
Take him
some
for ice
candy.
cream. See where it goes.
Yeah. Well, again, agree to disagree.
No, I don't. Listen, that's not a rule. That's a suggestion.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't say you have to, but I would say if you know you're somebody who's going to be getting phone calls in the middle, if you're going to be distracted the whole time, or if you're going to be missing your good friend, son, child, mother's performance because of the phone, then I'd suggest work on taking away the distraction for yourself.
All right. Fair enough. Josh, I think we have enough material for a pretty lengthy podcast for our listeners. We actually had a record last week of 325 listeners for our
Oh wow!
Vagina Monologues podcast.
Oh, that's great.
With the local star actress.
But
Alana.
it's going to be hard to beat that with this topic. Do you think people are more
It is.
people are going to want to listen to cell phone etiquette?
I'll tell you why, because people know more about cell phones than they do about vaginas.
But it has the word vagina even in the title.
Right. Right. Well, yeah. I'm not worried. You can go to joesmalltalk.com or facebook.com/joesmalltalk and find all the podcasts. And Self and Etiquette will be the newest one out.
Okay, wonderful.
I hope Michael, the second-year economics student, also my brother, who's not wearing my fleece right now because I'm wearing it. I hope he's having a fun night wherever he is. And also Elie, our head of marketing PR, he's actually traveling right now in France. He saw the Mona Lisa this past week.
Oh, wow.
I think he might have taken a picture of it with his cell phone. I don't know, because he posted a picture on Facebook, but I thought that it was illegal to take a picture of the Mona Lisa because...
Oh, I heard that, yeah.
So I hope he's not in jail somewhere. I haven't
Maybe
heard
is it a flash issue? I don't know if it's a flash.
Well, you could turn off the flash. I don't see the issue. But there's definitely some element of rays affecting the Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
So
I've heard that too.
I hope he's okay in France.
Yeah, I hope he gets back.
And
if not, I can help you out with your PR if he's still in there.
He's been slacking lately.
Yeah, see. Yeah. Well, with 325, nothing. Credit to him.
We also had an argument about a toothpick that he had in his mouth. He didn't want to talk about it.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the toothpick in the mouth.
Well, what can you do?
Yeah.
Anyways, Joe
it's been
Small
wonderful.
Talk, signing off.
Thank you so much. Good
to have you. And you can take that phone call now. Call her back.
Okay, great.
Have a good night.
Can I go now?